Hello everyone, this is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you your mid-year review of 2022 for my fellow water signs. I'm an ascending Scorpio, so I definitely am connecting with this a little bit as well. So without further ado, of course, the deck that I'm using, I like to introduce, of course, is the Light Seers Tarot. And so I really feel as though as I'm tapping into the energy here, water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, really feeling like this is one where there's a lot of financial stability that is at the forefront of what you're doing. Really feeling like you feel like this is the key to your development, to your growth, to your progression in your life at this point in time. And, you know, I feel like it's almost like these are the basics. Like you feel as though this is the foundation. It needs to be set, and I can't progress any further until I get this in place, right? And I feel it's like almost like we have our needs and our basic securities have to be met, or feeling secure in that has to be met before we can progress to any other. And so as always, of course, if you get that financial stability in place, if you're feeling secure, with that, you know, being said, you have a nourishment that comes in with being able to provide yourself, you know, being in stimulating environments, provide yourself with nourishing food. Like there's things that kind of fall in place as you allow yourself to be focused on that financial stability. And so I understand where that, of course, can feel as though this is the key to everything, or the key to your development or your progression. And so the cards, of course, that came out for January to June 2022, we have the Magician. I love that card. It's almost like this beautiful vortex of energy, tapping into it, right? As we are a magician, we are able to tap into the universal energies and, you know, kind of use that at our will, as long as we're responsible, of course, with that. And Five of Cups, maybe a little bit of, you know, remorse, regret, kind of looking at the past, right? Five of Swords. Now, I really look at this guy. He's like, man, I've got a headache. But what I am drawn to in this card the most is that there's some red here, almost like you had climbed an ice wall. And I get like blood, sweat, and tears that kind of comes in with that. And climbing up that ice wall and then standing, of course, in the light, right? So blood, sweat, and tears, moving through that. And then the Wheel, we have the Wheel to round that energy out. So for January to June, these are our cards. And so I really feel as though, you know, there's this energy of feeling like you had to climb the ladder, so to speak. And I get that too. This is your future card, one of the future cards. This came up for, gosh, all of the signs so far, but it usually has come out in the reverse. So yours have actually come out in the upright, the Five of Wands. And that's what I see with this as well, climbing the ladder. And so I feel as though that comes in with this. You have this feeling of like rising to the top by climbing the ladder at work, right? I just tap into this energy and feel like there's this whole corporate world feel with it. And honestly, that's where I feel you get that like headache. I honestly have a headache with this whole thing, right? It brings a lot of drama into your life, whether it's politics within the workplace, whether it's I feel as though I don't have enough work-life balance, whatever that is, it's exhausting sometimes for you. And I feel as though you might feel, yeah, okay, I'm embracing the change. I know that I have to do this, but you honestly, on some level, may feel as though you are roped into it, so to speak, really feeling tied into it, whether you feel as though you have no choice to do it, or you may perhaps even feel like part of your identity is tied into your title at work or your career, right? You identify yourself as that, right? I am a such and such, right? I am an engineer. I am a, right? How we do that, right? What do you do? And you identify yourself as that. And so you kind of, you know, take a step back and you're like, who am I without this career? Or who am I without being in this position, right? And so you've always kind of put yourself into a place where you are pushing into being very productive. And so in this last 6 months, of course, you've been very focused on productivity. And, you know, pushing this productivity, you're hoping will bring in the desired change, right? Whether that's the change that you're hoping for in terms of this financial stability will buy me a bigger house, or this financial stability will get me the car that I'm hoping for, whatever that looks like. This is what you've been pushing all of your energy into. You are seeing this as a space where hard work and time and energy put into that career will give you the financial stability to bring in what it is that you desire. And, you know, I feel overall it's just kind of leaving you in a space where you're feeling undernourished, where you're feeling as though you're unable at the end of the day to fill your cup up. And when we talk about filling our cup up, that's not just in a space of, you know, monetarily speaking, feeling maybe you're not feeling like you're able to make ends meet at the end of the day. Maybe you're perhaps feeling not enough emotional recharge at the end of the day, right? So feeling not enough overall and feeling, right? So whether that is emotionally, you're feeling like, man, I am exhausted, I am depleted, I'm not able to fill my cup back up and give back to me, have me time, do my self-care things because I'm putting all of my time and energy into this. Or maybe again, like not feeling as though you have enough at the end of the day, even though you're doing all of these things to bring that money in, you're maybe still perhaps feeling as though you don't have enough of what it is that you want. So maybe you're not feeling as though the money is taking it, you know, you as far as you'd really like, right? You're not living as lavish of a lifestyle as you'd really like. And so there brings this whole aspect of this shedding that's happening, and it's almost as if there is an energetic shedding and a rising up that's happening within you. And I feel it's in a space of, with this wheel especially, moving you from a space of this like desperation into like ushering you into this like hopes and dreams, right? Ascending you to the next level, taking you into space of your hopes and dreams, because I feel as though you've come to some sort of a realization where you are not where you want to be. And so there is this shift coming over the course of perhaps the next 6 months, right? Where that blood, sweat, and tears that we talked about is, you know, really starting to be your focus, where you're understanding that it doesn't always equal your time, your energy, you know, that blood, sweat, and tears, right, that you're putting into it doesn't always get you to where you want. And so it's not always, putting so much effort isn't really always the best course of action. And so it's almost as if with that shift, you kind of, I literally just see you almost like sidestepping, like just literally on this path, and you're just like, okay, nope. And then you just sidestep it, right, and get on a whole new path, right? And this path, just the energy that's with that, if you could feel this energy, it just feels lighter, right? And I feel like it's one where there's more abundance and half the effort, right? Less effort, and it leaves you in a space of feeling just so much ease and so much more time to yourself. And you know, I think that the key here for you with this whole thing is, you know, a need for you to be open to receive, right? Like that person who went through all of that blood, sweat, and tears in here, in this card, went through all of that blood, sweat, and tears, got to the top of the mountain there, right? And is now standing with the arms wide open under the light, like, okay, blessings rain upon me, I'm ready, and I'm open and willing to receive, right? I'm done with this headache. And so that's really what I'm feeling. So the energy coming in with the June through December, now I had several cards come out with that. So we have the Fool, new journey. And look at that beautiful geometric pattern there in that, right? This trusting the universe to catch you, knowing it will all work out in your highest and best for your highest and best. And so we have the Four of Cups as well. Not seeing what's able to be taken advantage, the opportunity that's there for you, because you're kind of sitting in an energy of like, gosh, it's just not happening for me, right? But you're not going to be walking a traditional route, right? You're definitely not going to be on the straight and narrow. That path is not for you, and you're realizing that, right? And so moving from this Five of Wands, which is a little bit chaotic, right? It's almost like the snakes and ladders where you can fall at any time. Moving into a space of Three of Wands, right? Moving into like, my fires of my passions are burning, and I want to see what's out there on this new horizon for me, right? And then finally rounding it out as we get into like this December 2022 energy, of course, Nine of Pentacles, like wishes fulfilled. And I love this so much, right? And so, you know, I feel like what comes in with this, the phrase that comes in initially with this next 6 months for you, water signs, is it's a lifestyle. And so when I talk about that phrase, to me, you know, I feel as though you'll be adopting new habits. Now, before you get too overwhelmed with that, you know, I don't feel that this is going to be a huge shift for you. I feel like it's a mild tweaking of your everyday routines. You know, I feel like it's just going to scratch the surface a bit, but it's going to be shaking up your routines enough that you're going to be inviting in new energy. And, you know, I feel like with this could be these new habits, could be revolving around, you know, feeding the divine. And when I talk about feeding the divine, this is, you know, very much one of, you know, our spiritual practice, our spiritual routines, right? And so, you know, our body is a temple. So how are you nourishing your body, right? Paying attention to how certain foods make you feel. Are you going to the gym, and how does that make you feel? Particularly pay attention if you haven't gone to the gym in a while, and then you go and you leave and you just feel how your energy is buzzing around you because you've cleansed and cleared your energy with that, and it feels great, right? Feeding the divine with prayer, with intention, with meditation, allowing yourself to be open to receive not just our blessings in a physical manner, right? Our physical blessings, right? Our monetary things, our support and love from our friends, but also our support and guidance from our spirit, right? Our spirit guides, our higher self, our intuition, right? They're trying to give us these nudges to guide us on our path 100% of the time. We just have to be open to that. And so how do you feel in your body? What comes up when you're meditating? What words come up? What colors come up? Do you feel a certain way in your body when you know something is not for you? Do you feel a certain way in your body when you know something is 100% a yes for you? Right? Where do you feel it? How does it feel? And then paying attention to those things as you ask yourself, is this a yes for me? Or is this a no for me? Right? And then as you do some of these things, you start to eat more high vibrational foods, or you're going to the gym and things like that. What it does is it shifts your vibration, it raises your vibration, and it makes you more magnetic to the things that are meant for you, right? So there's a confidence in knowing here as you're shifting into this is you are an agent of change, okay? And so what I mean by that is you're a problem solver, right? And this is about creative solutions. And so, of course, you're very intuitive, you're water signs. And so this is about moving into a space where you're committing to being, you know, open to learning, to growing in a lifelong capacity, right? And, you know, knowing in your own self-assessment, what am I good at? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my limitations, right? Knowing that as you step into new experiences and new situations. And as you are able to bring that to the table, you face challenges. You're going to face challenges, right? And so you're stimulating your mind along the way, and being in new environments and such, that is very stimulating for you. And it can, and as you embrace these challenges, though, it's going to shape you into this fierce warrior, right? And a warrior, what does that mean to you? To me, a warrior is someone who doesn't give up. A warrior is someone who makes it to the other side no matter what, right? It can be the most difficult thing, and in the heat of the moment, you might feel as though you're never going to make it through it, but then you get through it, and you realize all of these new things about yourself because you went through that. And so it's about being adaptable, right? You can't just get through this Five of Wands energy by not being adaptable or flexible, right? Physically flexible even. So, you know, being adaptable, being able to open up, being able to communicate your needs, being able to go with the flow, so to speak. So, you know, I feel like tapping into your element of predictability, to, you know, because you're water element, and so you're very intuitive. So being able to use this predictability that comes in with situations, like you are able to see the bigger picture, and there's certain patterns that you're able to just like extract as you see things happening, because you are very observant and you just know when things are happening. And so using your past experiences to help to predict what's going to happen in certain situations, that can help you to be a little bit more adaptable as well, right? And so, you know, I feel like with this, there's an element here too that it just feels as though your old passions are kind of presumed to be long gone, right? Like out, dead, gone, right? But I think that they'll be resurrected. I think they'll be resurfacing as you start to embrace these new horizons, right? Because you're going to be, even though you'll be feeling defeated at times, you might be using these older passions or whatever, your hopes, your dreams, you know, as a means to cope. And so as you start to sit down in prayer and meditation, you might feel more inspired to paint something that you've seen in meditation. You might be feeling more inspired to draw something that you've seen in meditation, right? Using these artistic abilities of yours. And I feel like when you're feeling the most defeated, that's going to be the mark of the beginning, right? The mark of moving forward, the shedding of the old and the bringing in of the new, right? Because there's an acknowledgement that comes with that. You see it, you feel it, right? And only then can you be open. After you shed these old energies, can you be open, right? And so open to receive, of course, these blessings like you've seen in that picture with your arms wide open. And so, you know, I feel like when these old passions surface, right, they're going to come in a different way. So they're not going to look exactly like they were, because it's not a traditional route that you're meant for, right? And so you will be reigniting these hopes and dreams, but they might take on a whole new life. And so that's the beautiful thing about it, and where you can step into new energy and embrace something new, right? Bring new life into that as a result of everything that you've been through. And I just feel like there's this inner muse type energy that comes with that, where you're just like on this like artist type high. And yeah, it's going to be very inspiring to other people. Like, this is something that you're meant to be doing. And I feel as though the energy that you're shifting into, that comes with this, the phrase cup runneth over comes in with that, right? And it feels so good. It feels so light. It feels so satisfying. It feels so great, right? It feels like a big sigh of relief, like, oh, I finally made it, I finally did this. And so you can give yourself a big old pat on the back that you are doing what you need to do, you're exactly where you need to be, and you are headed in the right direction. So pay attention to what Spirit is trying to tell you, pay attention to your intuitive guidance, pay attention to angel numbers around you. They are trying to communicate with you along your way, along your path. So beautiful message here for you for water signs for your mid-year review. As always, if you're interested in your own personal reading, I'd love to be able to do that for you. You can hit me up in the messenger on Facebook, or you can book a session with me right on the square site in the description box below here on YouTube. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe so you're in the know of all of the new and amazing content. As always, I will be back with another reading for you guys again soon. And until next time, take care and be kind to one another. Thank you.